Let's start with this little share and invite you all to guess who is the author of these lines. I dissected everything to learn from Ronaldo. Watching Ronaldo, I focused on every movement he made. Dribbling, passing, finishing, and handling. However, it's impossible to completely copy Ronaldo. If you don't regularly follow the news, it would be easy to guess that these words are from Mbappe, who has idolized Ronaldo since childhood. But that answer is wrong. So could it be Marcus Rashford or the young forwards of Manchester United? Also no. CR7 himself once complained in the press about how his direct advice was not enthusiastically received by his juniors. The answer is indeed very surprising. It is the remarkable statement of Karim Benzema in his last season at Real Madrid. Even after becoming the 2022 Ballon d'Or, the lazy cat of Madrid still expressed admiration and clearly gratitude towards his senior, Cristiano Ronaldo. Somehow, there must be something special that made one of Europe's top strikers speak so humbly. Perhaps it's because at the peak of his career, during his most flourishing days, he still remembered the foundation that created his #1 killer instinct. Like a solo singer always remembering the band that helped him develop his class. Benzema surely remembers the glorious days with BBC, the famous forward line that he, Gareth Bale, and senior Ronaldo formed at Real Madrid. How did that legendary trio come about? Let's recall the golden era of Galacticos 2.0 and the renowned BBC. Ronaldo and Benzema were two of the first bricks in forming Real Madrid's 2.0 galaxy in the summer of 2009. However, Rome wasn't built in a day. Those investments and high expectations did not yield corresponding results for Real in the 4 consecutive seasons that followed. In the 2009-2010 season, Real won nothing. In the 2010-2011 season, they won Copa del Rey, their first title under new coach Jose Mourinho, but still finished second in La Liga and were eliminated in the Champions League semi-finals. In the 2011-2012 season, what was bound to happen did happen. Real Madrid won La Liga, but were again eliminated in the Champions League semi-finals. And then in the 2012-2013 season, Real disappointed when their only title was the Spanish Super Cup. They finished second in both domestic competitions and were once again eliminated in the semi-finals of Europe's most prestigious tournament. The common point of the first 4 seasons while activating Galacticos 2.0 project was clearly the pain in Champions League. It was even more painful when Perez's purpose for spending money on superstars and an excellent coach for Bernabeu was to realize the dream of La Decima, meaning winning C1 for the 10th time, further consolidating their status as Europe's greatest club. Mourinho was fired as Real Madrid's first restructuring move. The strategist chosen to replace him next season was Carlo Ancelotti. And just like a huge encouragement for the new captain, he was handed another gem to strengthen the team's power. On September 1, 2013, the Royal Spanish club announced the signing of Gareth Bale from Tottenham. The contract was signed for a duration of 6 years, with a transfer fee of up to €100 million. Bale officially became the world's most expensive player at that time, breaking Cristiano Ronaldo's record. This detail underscored Real's ambition, but also led many to speculate about potential clashes and difficulties in uniting the stars in their galaxy. On Bale's arrival, there was much talk about possible conflicts with Ronaldo on the pitch, where the self-centered CR7 had never been known to yield to anyone. At just 24 years old and barely out of his youth player threshold, Bale had to play under immense pressure. He was overshadowed by Ronaldo, forced to play off the right wing to create opportunities for his superstar teammate, and faced harsh criticism from Ronaldo after every missed opportunity. However, these were mere speculations or prejudices. The numbers don't lie. At 28, Cristiano Ronaldo was still Real Madrid's leading scorer in the 2013-2014 season. He scored 51 goals and provided 17 assists across all competitions. Meanwhile, Bale's crucial role was to initiate chances or provide assists, totaling 19 successful passes, but also shouldering 22 goals himself that season. To give you perspective, his goal tally only dropped by a mere 4 goals compared to the previous season when he was the main striker for Tottenham. And what about Benzema? He was not far behind with 24 goals and 16 assists across all competitions. If we only count goals, this trio contributed a total of 97 goals, accounting for 60.6% of Real Madrid's total goals across all fronts that season. Their influence was even more pronounced in the most important competition, the Champions League. The trio's 28 goals accounted for 68.2% of Los Blancos' total goals and played a crucial role in their journey to victory in that year's tournament. In their first season together, Bale, Benzema, and Ronaldo helped Real Madrid achieve their long-awaited dream of La Decima. This marked the birth of BBC, a play on words by the Spanish media combining the initials of Gareth Bale, Karim Benzema, and Cristiano Ronaldo's first name. This nickname evoked an association with the name of the British national broadcaster. The clever wordplay was seen as a counterpart to Barcelona's MSN, referring to Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. That same season, Neymar sailed from Santos to Camp Nou to join forces with Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez, forming a new triumvirate for the Catalan Giants. Similarly, combining the initials of their names created MSN, which also referenced a suite of internet services provided by Microsoft, including multimedia communication. The BBC versus MSN thus became a balanced and inspiring rivalry. From the idea behind the two nicknames to the talent and explosive performances of both trios at two of the world's most prestigious clubs. Returning to Real Madrid, the image of the BBC trio in their victory over Schalke 04 in the first leg of the 2013-2014 Champions League round of 16 is probably etched in the club's memory forever. In that match, they won 6-1 on the away ground, but the manner of their victory was even more impressive. Each member of the BBC scored a brace, with all 6 goals owing to the collective effort of these 3 stars in the front line. Even Benzema's goal to make it 4-0 involved an assist from Ronaldo before CR7's goal to make it 6-0 came from a reciprocating assist by the Lazy Cat. The only exception was Gareth Bale's goal to make it 5-0, which came from a through ball by outsider Sergio Ramos, the team captain. Therefore, it can be said that what happened in that match shows how well-synced and effective Real's BBC trio was. They not only took turns piercing through gaps and punishing the opponent's mistakes, but also created opportunities for each other, assisting each other in scoring. The combination of this trio showcased almost all the strengths required in a forward position, from power, stature to speed, handling skills, finishing skills, to precision. They had both ground and aerial tactics covered. Regular aerial duels by Ronaldo and Benzema, or occasionally even Bale with his height of 1.85 meters. The BBC was considered somewhat more complete than MSN in terms of diversity. However, on the flip side, the finesse, technique, and spontaneity that Messi, Suarez, Neymar possessed were deemed somewhat superior. But perhaps all comparisons are relative. Just as no one can say that BBC lacked technique. Their high-speed dribbling pass players or delicate finishing touches were always considered top-notch in ball-handling skills. Returning to the 2013-2014 Champions League season, BBC also contributed 2 goals in the quarter-finals, with strikes from Ronaldo and Bale against Dortmund. In the semi-finals, Benzema scored the only goal in the first leg against Bayern, while Ronaldo added a brace in the return leg, contributing to a total score of 5-0. And finally in the final, against neighbors Atletico. After Captain Ramos's header saved Real in stoppage time of the second half, equalizing at 1-1 and pushing the match into extra time. It was Bale, Ronaldo, along with Marcelo, who scored those final goals, sealing the match and bringing home the historic La Decima for Los Blancos. A perfect ending to BBC's first season side by side. And from there, they stood shoulder to shoulder for half a decade. In the following season of 2014-2015, BBC scored exactly 100 goals across all competitions, accounting for 61.7% of the team's total goals. Real Madrid won the UEFA Super Cup, FIFA Club World Cup, and reached the semi-finals of the Champions League. In the 2015-2016 season, BBC scored 98 goals, accounting for 69.5% of Real's total across all fronts. Los Blancos finished second in La Liga, but reclaimed their European Championship title. In the 2016-2017 season, we witnessed the decline of the BBC as Gareth Bale suffered numerous injuries and scored only 9 goals all season. The Real Madrid forward trio scored a total of 70 goals, accounting for 40.5% of the team's total goals. It was the first season that BBC didn't score more than half of Real Madrid's goals. Nevertheless, it was a hugely successful season for the Giants as they secured a historic quadruple, particularly highlighted by their back-to-back Champions League victories. Then came the 2017-2018 season, where BBC regained their form, scoring 77 goals and accounting for 52% of Real's total goals. Notably, Gareth Bale's performance stood out with 21 goals for the season. However, a more diverse attacking arrangement from coach Zinedine Zidane meant that BBC rarely started together in this season, especially in the Champions League. In fact, until the final match, it was Isco who played alongside Benzema and Ronaldo in the attack, not Gareth Bale. The Welsh star sat on the bench for the first hour before coming on to score 2 stunning goals that sealed the victory against Liverpool. The last half hour of that European summit was when we saw BBC's wings spread wide. Benzema was still tenacious and hard-working. Ronaldo still had an insatiable hunger, while Bale showed he is a man for the big moments. The headline from Marca placed above the triumphant photo of the trio said it all. Death is still full of life. The demise of BBC had been predicted, but that didn't stop it from sparkling in its most glorious moments. To conclude, let's take a look at a statistic compiled by Transfer Market. Considering only the top 5 European leagues in terms of trios scoring the most goals in a single season for a club, BBC from the 2014-2015 season ranks 7th among the best bombing trios of the 21st century. They are above Messi, Villa, and Pedro's trio from Barca's 2010-2011 season, but still behind MSN and several other Barca trios, even trailing Ronaldo, Benzema, and Higuain from Real's 2011-2012 season. But, as they often say in football, sometimes it's not about the quantity, but about the moments, images, and emotions they bring. Real Madrid, La Liga, Champions League, and world football will forever remember BBC as one of the greatest trios in football history.